But although I don't really believe in progress in any sort of absolute sense, I don't think it's a thing. I do, cultures do evolve, and places and communities change their meaning and their inflection over time. And there's nothing you can really do about that. So I'm sort of fairly resigned doomer in that sense. I don't see Bedfordshire and its communities just kind of blowing away like a sandcastle in the wind. But I do think, as you say, things are changing very rapidly, and a lot of the things that we thought were just dead certs forever are really not.
When you say you don't believe in progress, what do you mean by that? Because I mean, objectively speaking, if we compare ourselves to humanity 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, I think it'd be very easy to argue humanity has made a lot of progress.
Well, I mean, I would actually disagree. I mean, because I think at the moment, if you say, well, we've progressed over the last 1,000 years, you've got to define what you mean by progress.
Longer life expectancy.
Right, but at that point, you've already begged the question. You're begging the question, as in in the way you phrased the question, you've already predetermined your answer.
Okay. So, but would you argue that it's unfair to say that people living longer, healthier lives? I mean, I see what you're saying in a way.
My point is that there are always trade-offs.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So, for example, you might argue that the fact that we live longer is a product of a society that also means we live in atomized groups, and therefore we're not connected with family. We have fewer children, and blah blah blah, and we end up dying in care homes as opposed to being looked after by immediate family.
Just so.
Yeah.
Just so. What I'm saying is not that that nothing ever gets better or that we're getting worse. My point is the reason I don't believe in progress in some sort of an absolute sense is that I think all the things that we measure as progress are just measured as such by bracketing all of the ways that they constitute trade-offs. So the moment you frame such and such as your metric for progress, you've already answered your own question.
Okay, what about penicillin?
Well, I mean, but penicillin is great, but what about superbugs?
Touche. Touche.
I mean, my point is simply that it's not obvious to me that humanity, taken in its total, is is in some way morally improved from over 1,000 or 2,000 years ago.
Let me keep trying. What about a lack of Stalinism and purges and gulags and?
Well, sure, but we didn't have Stalinism before Stalinism either.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of did though, didn't we? Like, we had the Inquisitions and the.
What about Xinjiang then?
Yeah.
We don't not have Stalinism anymore.
It's true. That is true.
I don't believe in progress. All
right, well, I'm going to get depressed as well. Fucking hell. It's great to have you on, Mary. We thought, we'd get someone interested in, but no, so just,
This is the ultimate black pill episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The thing is, like, it's not that I'm.
You're not depressed about it.
No,
I'm not.
Yeah. I'm really not depressed about any of this.
Yeah, because it's so bad. Why bother?
Yeah. Do you take a certain nihilistic glee in it?
Absolutely not. No, I think there's immense scope in human life for beautiful, heroic, wonderful, transcendental experiences. I just don't think things are necessarily never-endingly getting better.
Yeah.
I think, humanity evolves, and cultures and ideas and people and places and everything evolves, and just tracing that is itself astonishingly beautiful. It's just not constantly getting better. It's just changing.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, if you look at the last decade, to suggest that things are getting better would, I'm not sure I'd buy that argument.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where you're standing. I mean, if you're an upper middle class white person who inherited wealth sometime in the late 1990s and got on the London housing ladder before the colossal boom, then you'd be forgiven for thinking that things have been continuously getting better. But for somebody not very far down the road from that person, it really might not feel like that at all. Or for not that many years younger than that person, it might not feel like that at all.